So we got to get this started a little bit earlier than normal because we're pretty crammed in here, and there's a reason for that. Is because there's 4 pages of people celebrating 5, 10 years with Westlake, and so what I like best is getting up here and really seeing how this keeps growing and growing, this anniversary lunch. So right now we're up to about 1,050 employees, which is a lot, and growing. And we have reps in the other states, etc. But when I really look back, and I myself been here for 6 years, well 6.5, I think it's 6.5 at this point, coming on 7 years. But when I got here and I looked around everything, one thing that always astonished me, and it's one of our strongest points when I speak to investors, or when Paul and I speak to banks and our credit lines, and when Don talks, is that our longevity and our tenure of employees. And so today, around you, you guys have folks who have been here for 5 and 10 years. And in some cases, not this time, but we've celebrated 20 years. And what that means is that we have a lot of dedication and loyalty to Westlake. And when you look at the numbers, and you look at our growth, and now you look at our subsidiaries, and the changing environment of Westlake, and really what it's becoming is a very big company. It's all built on the backs of the people in this room. And Juan, how long have you been here? 5 years. And how many people have been in here for 5 years? Can you raise your hand? 5 years. So I think we were probably growing at that time too. How many people have been here for 10 years? Paul's been here for
Almost.
Or almost.
Round.
Yeah, that's next. 15 years? Almost.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. 20? No 20s in here. So, but what I mean by that is the company's success and growth and our dominance in the space is built because of your efforts. And when you look at the things to come and what we're doing and the evolution of our company, it's all based on the fact that we have people pushing this group each and every day. And so whether you've been here for 5, 10, 15, 20, or in case Brett has been here for 35 years, even when he was before he could walk, there's many more years to come. And so, on behalf of myself, thank you very much, and our management team, thank you, on behalf of myself, but on behalf of myself and the management team, thank you very much for your dedication. So, what I'd like to start off with is someone who's celebrating their 10-year anniversary, and this is one of the first people that I met at Westlake, and so I get to speak to this one. And so when I got to Westlake, my first day, when I showed up, it was the day after 4th of July, so I think it was on about a 5-second delay from having a good time on 4th of July. And I met people here and there. And so the next day, I had to spend some time out in the field to really figure out about Westlake. And I met 2 people that day. Both of them are celebrating their anniversary today. But this one in particular, I spent the day driving around with him and looking at our dealers and looking at the Westlake as a company. And so we were talking about this yesterday on the way out. I can't say what we were talking about, but what astonishes me, so I start driving up, I get in my car, and I go to meet this individual, and I'm driving up this hill in Whittier, and I get to talk, wow, this is a pretty nice area, and I meet one of our reps. And so him and I, we get up, we go see dealers, and what blew me away about this person is his passion, not only for the company, but for the industry, and his insight into things beyond sales. It was into the inside of operations, technology, our products, the understanding of risk, and the dealers. And so we drove up and down Valley Boulevard, passing some dealers because they had no need for Westlake, which him and I have spent many times talking about. Now hopefully they do have a need for Westlake. But we also stopped at many lots that were with the core of Westlake, and how these were our core dealers, and really what has built this company. And what astonished me at that time also was the relationship he had with his dealers, and more importantly, the relationship he had with the people internally in the office. And so in 2008, when the time came, and someone who I needed to help really grow this company, and that Paul and I needed to really take over the sales group and help us through the time when we had to tighten, when I was listening and hearing collectors and people in the marketing and servicing say, I don't know what's going on with this paper we're buying. We really need to tighten up, and everyone remembers those times in 07, 08. And so at that point, there was no one other that we could think of at the right age of 28 to think of running what would be one of the biggest sales companies, or biggest sales forces in the industry. So on behalf of myself and the management team and my partner in crime, Mark Vasquez, 10 years. But each and every day,
the 10-year walk right here. Thank you. You get a lot easier.
Each and every day that I come to work, there's one guy that shares my passion about growing this company to the next level, and really how big we are and how big we're going to be is Mark. And so for the last 5 years, he's been to hell and back with myself and Paul and others. And look at us now, and look at the paper we're putting on. It's much better. And look at the growth of our company. Who would have thought we'd be a full spectrum lender? And part of that was because of his vision. So, Mark, thank you very much. And on behalf of me, now you get to take over and present to you your person.
All right.